Howdy! Your like and subscription to this video are essential for us. Please consider it. Thank you for your kindness. The Cowboys suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of the Packers, who, despite being 7.5-point underdogs, dominated the game. Dallas's defense struggled to contain Jordan Love and his team, and the Cowboys' offense, previously leading the NFL with an average of 30.1 points per game, seemed disjointed throughout most of the contest. Cowboys quarterback Prescott threw for 403 yards, achieving 3 touchdowns and conceding 2 interceptions. However, his statistic is somewhat misleading, as most of his yardage was gained when the game was already beyond recovery. Prescott's pair of interceptions, including one returned for a touchdown, were converted into 14 points by the Packers. Prescott delivered a performance worthy of MVP consideration during the regular season, accumulating 4,516 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, and only 9 interceptions. However, all these impressive stats became irrelevant when the Cowboys were eliminated from the postseason much sooner than anticipated, despite a strong 12-5 regular season record. Following their defeat, the Cowboys are faced with considering substantial changes. This may involve the future of head coach Mike McCarthy. While he has excelled in the regular season with a 42-25 record, he has secured just one playoff victory in his tenure as the Cowboys head coach. After the defeat, McCarthy chose not to comment on the rumors surrounding his job stability. McCarthy stated, "I think the biggest thing is we're disappointed. We have a whole team in the locker room that's hurting. I haven't thought past the outcome of this game." The Dallas Cowboys could be on the verge of scouting for a fresh head coach, and a name that would surely stir the NFL landscape is the ex-Alabama Crimson Tide icon Nick Saban. While Mike McCarthy still holds the head coach position for the Cowboys, the winds of change are blowing. Nevertheless, the team's overwhelming defeat at the hands of the Green Bay Packers casts doubt on McCarthy's tenure as head coach. Kevin Clark from ESPN positions former Seattle Seahawks coach Pete Carroll as the top replacement option for Dallas. The analyst also ranks Nick Saban, who recently retired, as a close second for the Cowboys. Clark stated, "The second person I would call is Nick Saban, one of football's greatest coaches." He addressed concerns about Saban's ability to connect with millionaire athletes and referenced his departure from college football. Saban felt he lost control over his destiny when the Dolphins' doctors vetoed signing Drew Brees. Clark highlighted that in the NFL, even perfect execution might not guarantee success, which is entirely accurate. In contrast, Saban was aware that in college, doing everything right often leads to recruiting top-tier talent and winning national championships. Saban's record, featuring 7 national championships and 11 SEC titles, is undeniably impressive. Additionally, numerous Alabama players coached by Saban have advanced to prominent NFL careers. Attracting Saban back from retirement would be a costly endeavor for Jones. In 2022, Saban secured a $93.6 million contract extension with Alabama, as reported by Barrett Saleh of CBS Sport. Consequently, any NFL negotiations would have to begin with a substantial offer from the Cowboys. In the weeks leading up to his retirement announcement, Saban acknowledged that the lifestyle for NFL coaches is superior compared to college football. The role of a college football head coach has grown increasingly complex with the advent of the transfer portal and NIL. During an interview on ESPN's The Pat McAfee Show, Saban remarked that often, particularly from former staff members, he receives inquiries about what it's like to coach in the NFL. He expressed his admiration for coaching in the NFL, noting that there was a time when college coaching offered a better lifestyle. However, he believes that, given the current state of college football, the lifestyle in the NFL is now more favorable. Saban also emphasized his appreciation for the competitive nature of the NFL, where the best teams and players face off, and about 70% of the games are decided by a touchdown or less. He finds great satisfaction in coaching such high-caliber competitors and players. The Dallas Cowboys are facing a pivotal juncture in their recent history as they decide the path forward with quarterback Prescott. The futures of both Prescott and head coach Mike McCarthy are under evaluation, yet parting ways with either is not as straightforward as merely terminating a contract. Should Cowboys owner Jerry Jones decide it's time to move on from Dak, the process won't be straightforward or economical. ESPN's Dan Graziano detailed back in September how the Cowboys could save $34 million by trading Prescott prior to his roster bonus activation on March 17. To give some background, Prescott's roster bonus for 2024 amounts to $5 million, as reported by Over the Cap. A significant challenge for the Cowboys, should they choose to trade Prescott, is the NFL's trading regulation that bars any trades until 4 p.m. Eastern Time on March 13. This timeline would give them roughly 3 days to finalize a trade for Prescott before his salary becomes guaranteed. The Cowboys' 48-32 defeat at the hands of the Green Bay Packers was marked by Prescott's significant struggles. He failed to gain any passing yards in the first quarter, and his subsequent interception returned for a touchdown put Dallas at a significant disadvantage. Despite Prescott having his finest season with the Cowboys, Jones has an option to move on if he believes it's time for a change. With only a year left on Prescott's contract, the Cowboys are at a crossroads for making a decision. They could opt to let his current contract run its course for another year and then attempt to renegotiate in 2025. However, at that point, Prescott would become a free agent, potentially leaving the Cowboys in a position where they might have to part ways with him, rather than it being a strategic choice. A significant obstacle in trading Prescott this offseason is his no-trade clause. K.D. Drummond of Cowboys Wire noted that Prescott has the power to reject any trade destination proposed by the team. Should the Cowboys attempt to trade Prescott, there will undoubtedly be interested parties. However, the limited time frame for making a deal, combined with Prescott's no-trade clause, could complicate the process. The expectation had been different, yet in their initial playoff bout with the Packers, the Cowboys encountered a complete debacle. The misalignment between Prescott and Lamb emerged as one of the more peculiar subplots, encapsulating the team's disastrous performance that day. Lamb's performance ultimately showed impressive stats, securing 9 receptions for a total of 110 yards. However, the majority of these accomplishments occurred during a period when the Cowboys were significantly trailing and operating in a mode of desperation. In the opening half, Lamb's contribution was limited to a single reception, which he made shortly before the 2-minute warning of the second quarter. Lamb was targeted a total of 18 times throughout the game. In the first half, he received 5 of these targets but managed to complete just 1 catch. The lack of coordination between him and Prescott was evident, and their mutual frustration became apparent. One notable instance was a pass that Lamb clearly dropped, the ball striking his hands. Additionally, there was a moment where Prescott overthrew the ball to him. We value your feedback. Please subscribe and leave your opinion in the comments.